Hello Year 11, Mr. Sheehan here to talk to you about A-Level Philosophy and Ethics. Hopefully you're watching this because you are already interested in coming to study the subject at A-Level and you want to find out a little bit more about it. So, in the first instance, what is philosophy and ethics at A-Level? Well, in reality it's a little bit more than just philosophy and ethics. We study the EDUCAS specification, which consists of three distinct areas of study. There is philosophy, there is ethics, and there is also Christian theology. Within each of these separate strands of the course, it will be taught either by myself or by Mrs. McVeigh, or in the case of ethics, by both of us. And within the A-Level, you will cover a wide variety of topics and a wide variety of areas of study. Some you'll be slightly familiar with from the EDUCAS GCSE. So when we look at ethics, we look a little bit at absolutism and relativism, which you'll have looked at during the crime and punishment section of the GCSE. Within philosophy, we look at issues around to do with like the problem of evil, so we look at the inconsistent triad again, which you're familiar with at GCSE. But obviously, because it's A-Level, we'll go into far more depth on all three of those strands. So within ethics, we don't just look at what a Catholic would think or what a Jew would think. We look at the big kind of major strands of ethical thought that influence and have impacted the whole of human history and continue to do so. So we look at whether or not we should have an ethic based on rules, whether we should have an ethic based on love, whether religion even has a place within ethics, or whether kind of religion needs to be binned off and sort of ethics stands individually and separate from that. Within philosophy, yes, there are those points on the course that are familiar or will be familiar to you from the GCSE, but we look at such a wide range of areas that where you aren't expected to just kind of say what a Catholic thinks. You are going to be challenged and encouraged to find the flaws in any of the arguments. So when we look at the existence of God and we look at the classical arguments for the existence of God, is God real? Can God's existence hold up to the criticisms of there being evil in the world, of there being suffering in the world? Within Christian theology, we look at big, significant pieces of Christian ideology and teaching, as well as sort of big key Christian scholars. So we look at the work of people like Dietrich Bonhoeffer, who is one of the world's most famous pacifists who worked tirelessly against the Nazi regime in Germany. We look at all of the kind of key ideas that underpin not just Christianity and not just religion in general, but also that underpin society in a wider spectrum. So in terms of why study A-Level philosophy and ethics and what you can do after it, obviously if you're watching this and you want to be a priest, brilliant. But I'm going to assume the vast majority of you don't. The A-Level is a fabulous A-Level if you're looking at going off to a university setting. Because of the three strands, it requires a really broad depth of understanding and a real flexibility in thinking and in skill set to be able to adapt between seeing me for philosophy and then going to see Mrs. McVeigh for Christian theology. So any kind of undergraduate degree program is going to require that same kind of skill set. So from a skills-based point of view, any degree course, it's going to have bucket loads of transferable skills. In terms of content and in terms of where it's going to guide you, if you are looking at medicine, if you are looking at dentistry, if you are looking at law, if you are looking at even a degree in, say, business, all of these degrees, all of these careers require elements of what's taught on the A-Level. So, for example, medicine, if you are looking and you know you've got to do your biology, you know you've got to do your chemistry, but no universities really prescribe what that third A-Level needs to be. If you go for a medicine interview, they don't ask you questions on the periodic table. They ask you questions based on if you have got this patient and this patient X has these problems, patient Y has these problems, who do you save, who do you treat and why? It's at that point that the ethics that we look at is going to give you a far greater depth of conversation on an interview to impress that panel. Similarly, if you're looking at law and you're going to be looking at, well, why are rules and why do rules exist and why do rules change and why are certain actions acceptable and others not, again, you've got that breadth to go into that. And again, even within like a business setting or any kind of professional arena, the philosophy gives you that ability to really start to think about thinking and to really kind of engage in complex ideas, whether within our A-Level it's religion or whether it is historical events, whether it is a cost projection for a company that you may be working for. It gives you that ability to really reflect on how you think and how you approach problems, and ultimately it makes you a brilliant problem solver, which is a fabulous skill to have moving into the world of work and beyond. So that's why I suggest that you do it. It's also a brilliant A-level, and if you are interested in studying the A-level and you want to come and talk to me the next time I'm in the Year 11 bubble, for those of you that are currently in our Year 11, do come and find me or talk to your RE teacher. If you are an external applicant, I assume alongside this video there'll be contact details for you to get in touch. I look forward to hearing from anyone who's got questions, and I look forward to seeing those of you that make the right choice and pick this for A-level in September next year. Bye.